Shalom. Call halal Yahawah Bahashem YAHAWASHI. It's a servant of Yahweh. Okay, the other day I was going over to the brothers page from Northern Kingdom Prophets, and let me apologize for how I behaved the other day too. I was just a little passionate. They were talking about how Yahawah they were trying to tell another brother who was talking to them prior to defend himself that the Southern Kingdom are Negroes. So I sat there and listened for a minute, and then finally I had to defend that. The Yahawah he was a so-called black man. Today be known as like an African American because his tribes they were taken captive, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove it. I wish the young man would have known how to defend this, but I'm gonna show you. I go out and I teach, and I'm not trying to be no YouTube guy. There's other teachers that are better than me, but I want to show the young guys how to defend this and the truth, because I am about the truth. So first off, he went to Revelations, and he wanted to argue about it is about the brightness, that it was white, but they left in the texture. They left in the texture. So going to Revelations 1:14, his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as like a flame. Okay, his hairs were white, so that was the emphasis, as white as snow. But whenever they put the texture of wool in there, it wasn't an accident. Okay, so everybody knows that. And his feet like unto fine brass that they burn in the furnace. It's not that they were burnt and they turned black. Whenever they're talking about burning the furnace, they're talking about smelting. Yahawah was glowing like melting metal. Like, you know how it says they're gonna purge the dross out of you? Well, that's what Yahawah was. He was glowing like molten metal, all the sin purged. Smelting, see? The extraction of metal from its ore by a process involving heating or melting, tin smelting. Okay, and so he's like, oh, the argument was that his hair wasn't woolly, but it was, and the way you could prove that is if you go to Daniel. Go to Daniel 7:9. Now Daniel 7:9 is going to tell you what Yahawah looks like. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So it's telling you Yahawah has woolly hair, my brother. And then Yahawah, if you've seen the Son, you've seen the Father. So he did have woolly hair. Okay, and then they were trying to argue about how does it go. I don't know. They wanted to argue about how Judah, the Southern Kingdom, was they were picked up from West Africa. They were gathered. And the scriptures to prove that. Let's go to Amos 1. Actually, I got it right here because it tells you for itself. And who it was sold to. Amos 1:6. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. So the Southern Kingdom, the whole captivity was sold up, to Edom. So that's what the scripture says. Look, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the brotherly covenant. You see, and I think that goes good with it is Joel 3. They sold the Southern Kingdom. And so It says, for behold, Joel 3, for behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, the northern and the southern kingdom, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. And yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. And so that was after 70 AD. They erased everything. They erased mostly everything. The only clues that we really have is that the Maccabees. They have a book that Brother Malcolm from Great Millstone he brought out, and it shows the Maccabees. They had Negro features, and they used the Paleo Hebrew. So that's that. And then the major point to defend it in the New Testament, the book of Acts 13:1. That book of Acts 13:1 says, now there were in the church, there were at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene and Maine, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. All right, now watch this. Now, whenever you go nigger, they're just saying it's the same like negro, because they're just calling them the black man. Watch. That were called nigger. And that's what it says too, watch.
Strong's G 3526, Niger.
Now, when you look at it, nigger, it's negro, black. So they were called the black man. All right, now think about this, brothers. Remember, YAHAWASHI, when YAHAWASHI told us, whenever he sent out the prophets, he said, don't go to the Samaritans, don't go to nobody but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So it was, they kept it in the family. So like a lot of they were dark skinned. It was the southern kingdom that was left there, because the northern kingdom was broke off after Jeroboam, the son of Solomon. And so that's where the brothers, we end up, after our captivity, we came to America, which is Arsareth. So that's the way, that's the truth. Whenever I came into the truth too, I have to accept everything. One thing that seemed that they were upset about was that they claimed to be Judah. Well, let me tell you, they are Judah. You could tell by the music, the spirit they have. It don't even have to be the attributes, like they rule over the sports and stuff. We do well as well, but they're just big brother Judah. And you got to quit being jealous of each other, and we're both guilty of it on both sides, to where like the brown northern kingdom, they don't want nothing to do with the black people, and then Judah and them, they have the same, that feel black only, and so they hate each other. But we are supposed to be those ones different, to love our brother and not to hate each other. I get passionate about it because everywhere I go, I can't find nobody that believes in the truth and that loves it like I do, except you other brothers that actually go do the work too, But just to let you know, I'm still here. I'll do the work. I won't ever quit. If I don't go out and teach, I'll feel weak, man. That's how I replenish my strength. So, hey, well, that's it for the lesson, man. I love y'all. Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.